How business really works. What if everything you thought you knew about business, it was wrong? What if the secret behind trillion-dollar empires wasn't luck, wasn't talent, wasn't even money, but something far more hidden? Pause, because most people think they understand business. They think it's about having a good idea, or working hard, or raising capital, or being passionate. But if that were true, every passionate entrepreneur would be rich. Every hard worker would own an empire, and every great idea would succeed. Yet most businesses fail. So something else is happening beneath the surface. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on how business really works. Not the textbook version, not the Instagram motivational quotes, not the follow your dream speeches. We're going deeper. We're breaking down the invisible mechanics, the hidden gears that decide whether a company thrives or disappears. By the end of this video, you'll see business differently. You'll see it in the coffee shop on your street, in the apps on your phone, in your workplace, and maybe even in yourself. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's begin. Most people believe business works like this. You make something, you sell it, you make profit. Simple, clean, logical, and completely wrong. Let's imagine something. Two coffee shops, same street, same rent, same coffee beans, same espresso machine. One is packed every morning. There's a line out the door. The other struggles. Empty tables, quiet mornings, closed within 6 months. What happened? Was the coffee different? No. Was the owner less passionate? Probably not. The difference wasn't the product. It was the business model. One shop understood something deeper. People don't just buy coffee, they buy convenience. They buy identity. They buy atmosphere. They buy routine. One shop positioned itself as the grab-and-go efficiency hub. The other tried to be quiet and premium in a busy commuter district. Same product, different understanding of the game. Now zoom out. This is why massive shifts happen in industries. It's why online retailers destroyed physical bookstores. Why smartphones replaced dozens of devices. Why some companies dominate while others disappear. Business is not about products, it's about systems. It's about psychology. It's about leverage. And it operates on hidden pillars. Today, we're breaking those pillars down. Because once you understand them, you'll start seeing patterns everywhere. At its core, business begins with one thing: solving a problem. That's it. The bigger the problem, the more painful the problem. The more urgent the problem, the bigger the opportunity. Think about transportation decades ago. Getting a taxi was inefficient, unpredictable, inconvenient. Then ride-hailing platforms appeared. With one tap, a car shows up. They didn't invent cars. They didn't invent drivers. They solved friction. Now think about travel. Hotels were expensive, limited, impersonal. Then platforms emerged, allowing people to rent out their homes. Again, not inventing buildings, solving inefficiency. Or go further back. Cars once existed only for the wealthy. They were handcrafted, expensive, slow to produce. Then mass production entered the picture. Suddenly, cars became affordable. But here's the important part. The real innovation wasn't the car. It was the system behind it. Here's the pattern. Value creation is rarely about inventing something entirely new. It's about improving speed, cost, convenience, status, access, experience. That's it. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most businesses fail because they don't solve a real problem. They solve a nice-to-have, not a must-have, and markets reward urgency. Now here's the twist. Solving a problem is only half the battle, because even the best solution in the world is worthless if nobody knows it exists. And that brings us to the second pillar. Distribution is the bloodstream of business. It's how value travels. You can have the best product in the world, but if it's invisible, it's irrelevant. Look around you. Some brands are everywhere. On billboards, on your phone, on shelves in nearly every store, in conversations. That's not luck, that's distribution strategy. Some companies mastered retail presence, some mastered media, some mastered logistics, some mastered algorithms, but they all mastered reach. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A mediocre product with powerful distribution will beat a brilliant product with weak distribution. Almost every time. Because business is not a meritocracy. It's an attention economy. Distribution does three things. It reduces friction, it increases visibility, it creates familiarity, and familiarity breeds trust. But here's the deeper layer. Distribution isn't just physical. It's digital, it's social, it's psychological. When a brand lives in your mind, it has distribution in your memory. That's powerful. But even distribution has limits. Because exposure doesn't equal loyalty. And that brings us to the third pillar. Trust is invisible currency. Branding is the story people believe. Let's clarify something. Branding is not your logo. It's not your color palette. It's not your font. Branding is the emotional shortcut people use to decide when someone buys a certain phone over another, or chooses a certain shoe brand, or drinks a certain beverage. They're not just buying functionality. They're buying identity alignment. Branding answers one silent question. Is this for someone like me? And once a company wins that answer, it becomes powerful. But trust takes time. It's built through consistency, reliability, expectation met repeatedly. One bad experience damages trust. Repeated good experiences build loyalty. And loyalty is expensive to compete against. This is why some brands survive scandals, why some survive price increases, why some survive competition. Because people don't just buy products, they defend identities. But even trust and branding aren't enough, because you can't grow infinitely without structure. And that brings us to the machine behind the curtain. A business without systems is a hustle. A business with systems is a machine. Let that sink in. Systems are a repeatable process that produce predictable results. Think about it. If a restaurant depends entirely on one talented chef, it's fragile. If it has standardized recipes, training, supply chains, and quality checks, it's scalable. Systems remove dependency on individuals. They create reliability. Scale multiplies systems. But here's the hidden power of scale. It lowers cost. It increases bargaining power. It strengthens brand presence. It widens the competitive moat. Small businesses think in tasks. Large businesses think in systems. And here's something most people overlook. The goal of a business isn't to work harder. It's to reduce unpredictability. Predictability creates valuation. Predictability attracts investment. Predictability builds empires. But there's one final ingredient, the one that sits beneath all of this, the most powerful force in business. And it has nothing to do with products. Here's the truth. Business is not about products, it's about people. Every dollar exchanged is a decision. Every decision is emotional first and logical second. People buy for status, security, belonging, convenience, fear, hope, desire. Companies that win understand psychology deeply. They understand attention spans, habits, addiction loops, social validation, scarcity, urgency. They understand that humans crave meaning, and they design experiences around that craving. The companies that dominate aren't necessarily the most innovative. They're the ones that understand human behavior better than anyone else. Because at the end of the day, business runs on desire. Desire for improvement, desire for identity, desire for connection. Understand desire, and you understand business. So how does business really work? Not through luck, not through talent alone, not through money alone. It works through 5 hidden pillars: value creation, distribution, trust, systems, human behavior. These are the gears. When they align, ideas turn into companies. Companies turn into empires. Business isn't magic, it's mechanics. And once you understand the mechanics, you start seeing opportunity everywhere. You start asking better questions. Instead of, how do I make money? You ask, what problem is urgent? How do I distribute effectively? How do I build trust? How do I systemize? What human desire am I serving? And that shift changes everything. Now I want to hear from you. Which pillar do you think drives success today? Is it value, distribution, trust, systems, or psychology? Drop your answer below. And if you want more deep dives into the hidden mechanics shaping the world around you, subscribe. Because the next time you look at a company, you won't just see a product. You'll see the machine behind it. And once you understand the machine, you can build one of your own.